Hi, Wheel of Time fans. Welcome back to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. Today we'll talk about the Wheel of Time, Season 2, Episode 2, called Strangers and Friends. So we are in Kyrene, and Rand is having visions of killing his friends.
And the voices in his head, you know.
Is this the madness?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. He's working as an orderly at a sanitarium, and he's spending his nights with Celine.
Yeah.
And Celine. Well, we don't find out in this episode who Celine is, right? So we won't even go there. She's just this really hot babe that he's, spending his nights with.
I like the line when they're in bed, the exchange, when she's like, oh, I'm thinking about this guy. And then he's like, I'm thinking about this guy. And she's like, you help me remember. I help you forget.
Yeah.
We didn't get it back then, really. We're just like, okay.
Like, who are you talking about? Well, okay, so when we first saw this, did you suspect Celine at all?
I did not.
Being a suspicious person?
Not in this episode.
Yeah, me neither.
I think later she gets a little, like clingy. A little, yeah, I remember. And then we're like, that's weird.
But as far as we know it's just Celine, an innkeeper.
I mean, we didn't know how bad it was going to be.
No, not at all.
Just maybe you thought she was going to be a little wedge between him and Egwene type threat.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Right. Well, Rand is such a sweetheart to one of his patients, Errol. But his coworker's a freaking jerk. So anyway, later on, he decides to intimidate this coworker, and he accidentally really, really hurts him with the one power.
Strength, right?
So, so this obviously terrifies him, and he's like, Celine, get away. But she's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Maybe that should have been a clue. She's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I can take care of myself.
Did he do that to get him out of the picture so he could take his person that he's in charge of?
I didn't think that it was intentional. I think he was just more like, stop being a jerk. But then, because then he ends up getting a promotion because of the coworker.
Because that's why he was there to begin with, right? Is so that he can make his way to meet Logain and talk to him, right? Because otherwise, was he just going to hang out and help the other guy?
I didn't even know that he wanted to meet him. I mean, I know he eventually does, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
I think we wind up learning that that's why he's there in the first place, because he doesn't know how to control. He doesn't know how to use any power at all.
So he
knows that Logain does.
I must learn from him.
So I think that's why he's even there in the first place.
We know Logain's been stilled, so he's not doing well.
No.
He doesn't want to be alive.
No.
Yeah. That's that for now. So, the Celine thing, at this point, last time I watched it, I was like,
we're like, good for you.
She's a babe.
Yeah,
he's a babe.
Yeah.
It
works. He's looking good, by the way. He's looking real good.
The shaved head.
Yeah. I wasn't digging him in first season, kind of childlike, but in this one, I was like, okay.
Okay, Rand.
You've grown up.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Yes.
Much like my Perrin. So Perrin and Elias, it's funny because it just kind of feels like Elias is just hanging around. We're like, where did you come from? I mean, I know he's obviously a wolf brother, right? But it is kind of weird how he just kind of joined in with them. But
right.
Perrin's
he's tracking for them, right? So that's why they let him.
Let him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, you'll do.
We don't know where to go.
You are useful, yeah.
You guide us.
So Perrin's still having these visions, which people were commenting about how, it's kind of similar to a wolf sniffing out what happened, right? So I'm not sure if they're just, that's supposed to be in place of what in the books, him, I don't know, something.
Just
because I think it's being presented differently.
Yeah.
In the TV series, but there's a dead Fade. Oh, creepy little thing. I don't care if they're dead or not.
They're the absolute worst. Yeah, well done, because I don't know what they look like when you read, but they're hideous.
Holy crap, yeah. Anyway, Elias does warn Perrin that the Shanarans are not his pack. And he says pack, right? Okay, because remember, Perrin doesn't know yet,
he doesn't.
right?
He knows there's something weird with the wolves.
But he doesn't know that he is a wolf brother.
No. And he saw Elias's eyes turn golden.
Yes.
But he still is he's still figuring it out.
Yes. So while he's sleeping, these little jerks decide to invade where they are, and these jerks are the Seanchan.
Oh God.
So
I'm dreading this rewatch for the Seanchan.
Okay, because now watching it, knowing that these women are probably held against their will.
Yeah. Well,
Egwene.
yeah.
Like that, it's so much different now because
Yes.
I'm more like looking at them with pity as they're throwing these
Yes.
powers, not like you horrible people. Like they don't want to be there.
Oh yeah, we were so confused the first time. Like, oh, what are those things? Didn't we say it looked like they had like an apple in their mouth?
Yeah, it looked like a golden
Yeah,
apple.
like
Yeah,
you know, just kind of making light of it. But then as we got to know what was happening, like it's very sad.
yeah,
It's like a slave society.
yeah. It's different.
It's terrible.
It hits different second time around.
And then you start to imagine like what's gonna happen, especially to Egwene, and you're like, I need to like mentally prepare for this all over
It
again.
is so brutal to watch. Yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, it takes you right back into that, right? Like we know what's coming and
Yes.
we're dreading it. So there's a battle. It ensues. The Shanarans, they do their best, but they are overtaken by the Seanchan.
Yes.
So, God, I was so worried about loyalty. I remember watching this and I was like,
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
He's so strong. I
know.
forgot that he had that. I mean, they had him tied up, so that's scary because he was. But once he kind of had a little bit of freedom, he was like totally
Yeah.
holding his own.
right.
So that was cool.
Yes, but they captured them. So,
Yeah.
and the Seanchan leader is there and has issue with her. And
we're like, how
so-
did what's
wait.
going on here?
You and your little
Your
Finger
nail swords.
this, yeah.
Yeah, such a cool. Cool. I don't know. That's not the right word. Cool looking.
I
Like,
think it is. I know what you're saying visually.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, like I can. Yeah, I like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
But then as we get to know what they're about, we're like, oh no, pure evil.
No, you're horrible. Anyway, we'll get there.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Next, let's talk about Egwene and Nynaeve, who are at the. They're in the depths of training still, right? And
Yes.
Egwene is taking it very seriously, and she's just trying her freaking best. And Nynaeve is not trying,
No.
but she's getting a lot of praise,
She
a lot of
She
attention.
gets a lot of attention because she's very powerful, even though
Yes.
she can't control it.
Right. So it is determined that Leandrin is going to teach.
They've decided to give her that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which means that she's no longer going to be a novice and that she will eventually be an accepted, right? So Leandrin, I think to entice her, takes her to this child with breakbone fever. And then Leandrin just like takes the crimson thorn root.
Yes, kind of like up the sleeve, type, steals
slide-like,
it and right in front of her. She's like, Nynaeve's like, what's that about?
And Nynaeve knows what all this stuff is,
Yeah.
right? She's a wisdom.
And
She's
she's
a
good at
healer.
tracking, remember? She's like really
Yes.
good. She's followed Lan around, and now she's following Leandrin around.
Yep.
She's good at snooping.
She follows her, discovers a secret way out of the White Tower, and then sees that Leandrin is visiting and caring for a very sick man. But the Red Ajah are supposed to hate men.
Right.
So it's probably like, wait, what? Like, who is this man, right? So Leandrin uses that vial for the man, and then Nynaeve just is like, wait, like tells her, like, no, he's in pain
To
even
be
after
helpful.
you leave.
Yeah, she's trying to be helpful.
And she's saying this will do better. Turmeric something.
Yeah.
Yeah, turmeric milk?
Yeah.
She said this would actually be better, and Leandrin just gets very
just
defensive.
smacks her
Oh,
across the face.
Right.
I was like, let her help.
Yeah. I mean, it was with good intentions, right?
Right.
And then obviously Nynaeve is going to leave after she gets slapped. And then it's really sad when Leandrin's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, my beautiful boy. And then did you know the first time watching that's
I
her
think we
son?
did.
Yeah, we picked up on that.
We were like, oh my God. And because they age slow,
right.
right? So she's been basically, she's had him forever. And then I don't know how long he's been sick, but she's been keeping this secret for a really long time.
Yes.
The secret that, well, she was obviously with a man.
Yes.
And then you have a son.
Yes.
That's crazy. And Moiraine knows, because Moiraine threatened to reveal that secret.
Yes. I
Right?
know of the secret man.
So Moiraine knew, and now Nynaeve knows.
Yes. And Leandrin does go back to Nynaeve, and she doesn't really, say sorry.
No.
She's just like, okay, time to go walk through the arches.
I think she's like, oh, well, maybe she'll die, and then I don't have to worry about her telling anyone.
True.
Because they're not, no one's 100% sure that Nynaeve will survive this. Many have died, they say.
Right.
So, yeah.
But yes, the arches. We'll find
That's
out
a
more
good
about
one.
that. Yeah, right. Okay, and now let's talk about Elayne, this delightful little pixie that she is. So she is the daughter heir of Andor, and I like when she's talking to Egwene, and I love how she kind of has to be like, "You're one of my subjects."
Like, don't you know who I am? Egwene's like,
And I remember first watching her and kind of feeling cringy because she's so eager to make friends. But then, yeah, when you think about it, it's like, of course she's eager.
Oh, I
Like,
was
she's
so
kind of sheltered.
suspicious. Remember, I was so suspicious.
Yes,
I was
yes.
like, she's definitely like not a dark friend, but maybe a dark friend. I mean, I think later I do suspect, but in this beginning part, I'm like, yeah, there's something sus about her.
Yeah.
But by the end of season 2, I can't say that about her.
I kind of love her.
She kind of did so much good that I cannot imagine she could be a dark friend.
I love her. I love that when the keeper of the novices, I forgot her official title, but Shiriam, she's like, okay, you have too much personal stuff here, and you must be punished. And she's like happily. Not happily, but readily accepts it. Yeah. The punishment, right? Like she wants to just be like
just
them.
Get beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Every
like,
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, but she wants to be treated the same as the others, right? Which I think is really noble. Now, you know, Egwene and her are friends now, so she's confiding in like how, like what I was saying at the beginning, how like I don't understand how Nynaeve is like not giving any effort to this, and like now she's already like, you know, moving up and like getting all this attention, like we had said, but Nynaeve overhears it, so. Yeah. It's sad. And the jealousy kind of comes out. Yeah. So I remember being really afraid that would hinder the relationship between Egwene and Nynaeve at the time.
I was like, no, they all love each other. Don't let that misunderstanding get in your way.
Right.
I mean, Egwene is jealous, but not in a like spiteful way.
Yeah.
She just wants it.
She's disappointed.
Yeah. She's working so hard and she just wants the attention. It's really kind of adorable.
I know. That's really when I think of her, I'm just like, she's so endearing to me.
Sweet Egwene. And remember we were like, oh, she's just sweet, you know, like
okay. Well, anyway. Okay, let's talk about Moiraine. So it's still a little tense between her and Lan. Yes. And when they share the story of their first meeting, I was like, this is actually hard to listen to because of what they're going through right now. But eventually she says that she made a mistake and that her and Rand set free the Dark Ones, Lieutenant, you know, Ishii.
Lieutenant. Why do they say lieutenant?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know if that's an accent or what, but every time I hear it, like, it's just a different way to say lieutenant?
Yeah, that's a good question. But, and then, like, the kicker, which I didn't understand last time, because I thought it was, like, a really big dig at Lan, was when she's like, we've never been equals. But thank God you guys were, like somebody...
It was us.
We said it?
I think we did. We're like, because we know how the Aes Sedai can't lie. So he said we're not equals, but that doesn't mean that she's above.
Yeah, it might have been you then, because I don't remember putting that together, because he was supposed to be, like, a king, right? Yeah. So... Because I just remember being like, God, that was brutal. But then she's like, it's kind of true. Like, in you know, their caste system, right?
And she's trying to push him away as much as she can, but without lying, right? Because, I don't know, she's trying to protect him.
I know.
Yeah.
She really is, right? And I knew that.
Yeah, we knew that. I know.
Yeah.
We did get that one early on. Like, it was really hard to watch. It was hard to watch again this time, but I feel like we knew.
It's a defense mechanism, right? Like, what is she going to be, like, sweet and, like, you know.
He'll just stay.
I mean,
she
kind of has to push him
to go, right?
Yeah, so she has Alana, and Alana's warders come and take Land of the White Tower, and then she's like, I'm gone. I'm off. I'm on a mission. Yes. Nobody works harder than Moiraine. Okay, anyway, Matt! Okay, so Matt, you know, is stuck in his cell, whatever you want to call it, by the hands of Leandrin, who offers him sweet cakes. Is that what they're called?
Sweet cakes,
yeah. And he seems a little bit more, like, chipper this episode because he's got a plan. He's going to get through the wall. Well, who's on the other side of the wall?
Min.
We love Min.
Love Min. I love how he was like getting free, and it's just another cell.
But like, who better to have in the next cell, like your neighbor, than Min?
How fun.
They have a really fun dynamic,
right? I really look forward to more of their interaction.
Yeah.
So good.
So he makes a big enough hole for her to crawl through, so then they're just like hanging out together with wine. Yeah. And she's like, you know, I see visions, and he's like, okay. Like, he really like couldn't care. He doesn't even ask, like, what's going to happen with me? Yeah. But she does see a vision of him killing Rand with that dagger.
With the dagger.
But she doesn't tell him.
No.
She doesn't tell him. Anyway.
He doesn't want to know, but do you think she would have told him if he wanted to know? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
She doesn't even know who he is because they've never met.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when she knows Rand, she had that deep talk with Rand the day she pieced together or helped him realize he was the dragon.
Right.
So when she sees the vision, she knows that she knows Rand.
Right.
But she doesn't know Matt. That's their first meeting.
Oh my gosh.
So.
That's right.
Unless she's seen him in other visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a burden though to have all
I know.
these visions.
That sucks. That's why she's drinking all the time, to like numb it.
I don't blame her. But this episode felt very much like the setting up, of the reveal of Lanfear, and then like, you know, Moiraine sets Lan like free to go, even though he doesn't want to go. But like, yeah, the Seanchan, like this kind of sets us up for that. Like, what's next? So yeah, ooh, it's like the springboard to the crazy crap that's about to ensue. Yep. Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
Yeah, that's enough. Okay, everybody, please let us know how you felt about this episode and help us with anything you're willing to. And then we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.